How you doing? Good morning, good morning. Maybe it's afternoon and you're watching this, maybe it's even evening. I'm not sure, but we're here and we're going to bring you some hot and heavy information all about your note and your deed.
Correct.
This, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about this. So like I said, I'm Mike and...
I'm Kara Stoner from the Fidelity National Title in Frisco.
Wait, did you say Karen Stoner?
Kara
Stoner. All right, so she is here and she's going to be helping us out, talk about all the title stuff, and we're going to go over the note. So I'm going to let you talk for just a little bit.
So the note, this is an important document that'll be in your packet. This is your promise to pay with the lender. And this kind of outlines all of the terms of your loan with your loan officer. So right here at the top, it has your promise to pay. This is your loan amount. In this scenario, it's $240,562. I'm going to jump down here, right here to this interest rate, 4.5%. Now this scenario, this is a fixed rate. That won't ever rise. The 4.5%, that is your interest rate. And then I'm going to scoot down here a little bit, and your first payment is not due until June 1st. So normally, if you see up here at the top, it says that this document is dated on April 12th. And so the way that the note works is you are always skipping a little bit on your mortgage payment. So you're signing these documents on April 12th, but your first mortgage payment isn't in fact due until June 1st.
All right. That was a knowledge bomb that I'm bringing up here, and it is not actually skipping mortgage payments, Kara.
Well,
what we are doing is we're
paying
in arrears, so we're not going to do that. All right, so I'm glad we're all in the same vernacular here. So we had talked about that in the first video, that it is in arrears. So let's continue on here.
Okay, and so like I said, your first payment will be on June 1st, and then, let me click on it. Okay, so I can scroll down. And then this right here, it says the amount of the monthly payments. So this is the principal and interest portion only of your payment. So your full payment, if you have an escrow account, which in this scenario you do, this is the principal and interest portion. This is the fixed rate. This won't ever change. Now your payments can fluctuate if your escrow account increases or decreases, if your property taxes increase or your homeowner's insurance increases. Your monthly payment can change, but this portion right here, this principal and interest, that is a fixed rate. That won't ever change. And then the borrower's right to prepay, you can prepay your mortgage off. There is no prepayment penalty. You can refinance or sell at any point without a penalty for paying it off before the 30 years.
All right, so let's talk about that here for a moment. So in just about every case, if you have a fixed rate mortgage, things have been regulated such that we can most likely prepay for your loan, and that would be totally fine. Words that we would like here is you can you can reanalyze things if you have an escrow shortage, and there's some different things that can go on there. But just about every single mortgage is going to give you the ability to prepay and pay a bunch in, and it's going to have the option that you can pay it off early. There's no prepayment penalties. And it's going to be a fixed rate mortgage, and it is most likely going to be qualifying assumable under most cases. Okay.
Correct.
So let's go back here and let you go to this. So we're continuing to talk about the note. The note is your obligation to repay. That's kind of a key word here in this is your obligation in your terms directly with the lender, and it's your obligation to pay. Continue
exactly.
on.
Okay, so right here at number 6, the borrower's failure to prepay or to repay. So you have a 15 calendar day grace period on this loan. So your payments are due on the 1st. They are not late until the 15th. And then if they are past the 15th, there is a 4% penalty in this case of the amount that is past due.
Let's not worry about that. Let's just pay our loan on time.
We're just going to pay it on time and not worry about it.
All right.
And then down here again, the obligations of the persons under the note. So you and your spouse, whoever is on this note, you're both responsible to make the monthly mortgage payments.
Yeah, and none of this changes under any scenario unless it's all totally redone and it is agreed upon. If you're going through a divorce,
correct,
that does not matter in the least, right? You're still going to be...
You're both still obligated.
Yeah, so don't come up with some information and say that you have this document that supersedes this, because it does not supersede this document.
Correct. And then that is it on that. And then some states require witnesses. Texas does not require a witness, but you would just sign where it says borrower. And we've redacted any names on here. So it would have your name printed right there where it says borrower and your spouse's name.
All right. And then who else's name is going to be here? Do you sign anywhere?
I do not sign on the note.
You don't sign on the note?
I do not sign on the note.
Are you a notary?
I am a notary.
All right. That's good. I'm not. Well, I actually used to be a notary, but I believe my powers have ran out.
You should get that rectified.
I should, what, no, I'm good. I'm all right not being a notary.
You don't want that responsibility.
No, in a former life, I was a notary and had the opportunity to do that. So the next item here that we're going to go over is the deed of trust, okay? So the last one was kind of the obligation to repay.
Correct.
And this one is your ownership rights in what it's protecting here. We are in the state of Texas. This one that we're going over here with the deed of trust, right? What kind of deed of trust are they going to be getting in this scenario here?
Well, this is the purchase money deed of trust, meaning that they are taking out a loan on this property. They own the property along with the lender as long as there is a note on this property.
Okay. And both parties, the husband and the wife, are going to have this. This is kind of the asset portion.
Correct.
Of the property. The other one is a liability. That's the that you have to pay and the obligation to. This is the asset portion, and that says that you, as the homeowner, own this property, and it protects those rights. If they're husband and wife, then it's going to be divided between the two, and you're gonna have that.
Correct. And then on this deed of trust, it will say who is vested. I mean, it will say, you know, Mike Acquisto and Shauna Acquisto, husband and wife, and they equally own this property. Now, say Mike is the only person that is on the note. He qualified on his own. Shauna, his wife, would just be a non-borrowing spouse, a non-purchasing spouse. She is still required in the state of Texas to sign the deed.
What that was a knowledge bomb. You just dropped some good knowledge. That was really, really good. And because both documents do not need to line up. They're not necessarily the same. In fact, if you're asking Mike Acquisto, my statement would be that you want to qualify to the lowest common denominator and have just the obligation to repay in the lowest possible way. So if it's just husband, just wife, whoever happens to earn less, if you can, the obligation to repay should be minimized on your side, and the asset portion should be split amongst the two, because that's kind of how it has to work.
Correct.
You good with that?
Yes, I'm good with that.
All right, good. Thank you very much. So let's continue on through the deed of trust. We went over that in short.
Yes, so the deed is a big, long document.
Hey, you do it on the computer.
Oh, let me go through this.
She's showing it here. I don't know what this girl is doing.
Let me scroll.
It's kind of like, what is going on?
So here on the deed of trust, every lender's deed is a different length. This one happens to be 18 pages. And it is just a big, long document that says if you don't pay, you don't stay. It breaks down their right to foreclose on you if you do not make your monthly payments.
Okay, so there's not too much to this. You can go ahead and scroll through it. It's going to show all the different stuff that goes along this. Normally, there's not a lot of questions about this document because it kind of is what it is. And we just went over in brief what it kind of was.
What it is. Some lenders will require you to initial the bottom of all pages. Some do not. So at the closing table, if we start making a big assembly line of just initialing the bottom, it's because some require initials.
Okay.
This lender does not.
Perfect. So those are the only things we're scrolling through here. You can click on this document. I'm going to upload it here so you can see it later. But I kind of feel comfortable that we covered everything here. And that's the note. That's the deed of trust. And then we're going to have another document or another video shortly after this that's going to explain the lender documents.
Correct.
So I would say nice job today, Kara Stoner.
Thank you.
Very good. All right. And we're out.